Interestingly, while the government responds with harsh repression, many friends and family members of converts show a more understanding attitude. As Todd Nettleton of The Voice of the Martyrs explains, their perspective often shifts to acceptance. If you've discovered something that works for you, whether it's Jesus, atheism, or anything else, that's great. I just know Islam doesn't work, so I'm glad you found something else that does. This grassroots spiritual movement is not limited to Iran. Don Chen, executive director of the Tide Ministry, highlights that Iran represents just one part of a larger trend across the Muslim world. What's happening in Iran is just the tip of the iceberg. Similar movements to Christ are emerging across the Islamic world. While the Iranian government fights to maintain control, the growing wave of conversions signals a deeper, irreversible shift, fueled by a longing for freedom, truth, and hope. Reports from the Tide Ministry reveal a compelling phenomenon. Many Muslims are having dreams and visions of Jesus, experiences that often mark the beginning of profound spiritual journeys. While these encounters do not always lead directly to conversion, they frequently help individuals navigate deeply ingrained cultural and religious barriers. For many, these visions open the door to exploring Christianity and making meaningful connections with Christian believers. Shank, a representative of the Tide Ministry, notes that people who have these experiences often share similar reflections. I now realize how much God loves me. I've always believed that He desires to punish me. Dreams and visions hold particular significance in Islamic culture, where they are often interpreted as divine communication. For Muslims who dream of Jesus, these experiences resonate deeply, portraying a message of compassion, love, and guidance that starkly contrasts with their previous understanding of God. These encounters often leave individuals questioning their beliefs and seeking answers in the teachings of Jesus, marking the start of a spiritual awakening. The transformative nature of these visions has drawn attention not only in Iran, where the phenomenon is most frequently reported, but also across the Muslim world. Shank believes that what is happening in Iran is part of a broader movement affecting the entire Muslim world. In Afghanistan, for instance, secretive Christians face grave risks as they practice their faith under the ever-present threat of Taliban persecution. The danger of exposure creates a pervasive atmosphere of distrust among believers who must navigate the constant fear of infiltration. Shank emphasizes the high stakes. Accepting Christ comes with a very real threat of death. Despite these challenges, feedback from Afghanistan indicates a growing number of people are embracing Christianity, driven by a desire for a relationship with God that feels deeply personal and redemptive. Yemen presents another striking example of this movement. Studies suggest the spread of Christianity there is occurring at nearly twice the global rate. This growth is particularly remarkable given Yemen's deeply entrenched Islamic traditions and the ongoing humanitarian crisis that dominates the country. Meanwhile, even in Saudi Arabia, a nation long known for its strict interpretation of Islam, there are signs of increased tolerance. Nettleton of The Voice of the Martyrs observes that while the environment for Christians remains challenging, the Saudi monarchy has begun to acknowledge the possibility of peaceful coexistence with Christians.